Hey guys, today I will go through the steps for constructing electrode for tDCS devices. So you should buy this sheet. It's the mesh 20. Previously I was buying 40, which is not really solid. It easily takes the form. I don't like it much. This one is more solid. It's 20. The other one is 40. So I think this, and the other thing I don't like about mesh 40 is it's not resistant against electric current. So after using several weeks, the filter starts to melt, and it will lose the some of the parts, so it won't pass the electric current evenly through the sponge. So I'm going to try the 20 mesh today. So you just cut it with size 5 by 5. After that you can use the punch and the nickel strip. You can punch it. So I already punched one. I need one more here. Okay, so I should take it off. It's stuck inside. Okay, so now you have two pieces. You can flatten this nickel sheet. Next step is you have to draw the diagonal of this square, and then find the center for welding these two. So I have already done one here. So I draw the diagonal. I found the center, and I put one of these sheets in one side, the other on the opposite side, and only from one side I will make a spot welding. I'm going to do this one later on. So the next you should do is cutting these cardboards. So this is 7 centimeter by 7 centimeter. So it's 7 by 7, and inside is 5 by 5. It's you can choose the size of this a little bit smaller so it can easily fit. So for the cardboards, for the back part, I am using this material, so it is very solid, and it's a little bit difficult to break. For the opposite side, which touches the skin, I use a different cardboard. That one you can find it in Dollarama. So it comes in the sheets like this. Then there is a layer, you can just take it off. Okay, so you can make this part to hold the electrode. Okay, now next is I also punch these pieces. This one is good for the headband, when you use the headband to keep the electrodes on your head. This doesn't let the electrode to falls off. So what is annoying is if you're having a tDCS session, and for any reason during the session, if the electrode lose contact with the skin, you will see a unpleasing flashlight in your eyesight. So which is I had that bad experience. It's not really hurtful, but it's also not really pleasing. So that's why I put this one, to make sure for no reason electrode lose contact with my skin, so it's always protected. Then in the center you make a hole to pass the wire. So I already made a electrode before. This one is the filter mesh 40. I don't like it. This is not very solid, and when you use it for a couple of weeks, it won't it will lose some of the parts. I show you how it will look like. So you see here, let me see if it can focus. You see some parts are melted. And yeah, so but the 20 mesh is pretty like resistant against the current, electricity current. So now I'm just preparing my soldering machine to replace this electrode I made before with the new one I just made right now. Can flatten the electrode, so when you put the sponge, it can distribute the electricity evenly over the sponge. So yeah, okay, that's now pretty good, ready for soldering. Okay, so it's on 350 Celsius, what shows on my soldering machine. Okay, I use some acid here. So if the solder doesn't want to glue to the nickel, it's because of the exterior part is oxidized. So what you should do is you can use a sand sheet to remove a layer of that. Then and the solder will attach easier. So now you can see, and increase the temperature of my soldering machine. So now it's working. Also use some acid. Okay. Still some part doesn't let the solder to attach, so what I'm going to use is like a small screwdriver. I make some scratches which removes the oxidized layer. I believe this time it should work fine. So let's try. Okay. Still okay, not too bad. Okay, finally I used a different soldering wire. So depending on how much of lead and the tin is contained in the soldering cable. It can be difficult, it can be easy or difficult for getting attached to another piece, but I use portion of the two, and finally you see that it's pretty well covered. Now this is the time to connect the wire to new electrode. So I just remove this here, just take that away and connect it to new electrode, exactly placed in center. Just be patient for a couple of seconds and you can release the wire. Now you have your electrode ready. It's done. You can do the same for the other one. Now you have this electrode, you save 10 bucks, and that can last for at least 2-3 months without any problem. What I suggest you, after each time of use, because of using saline, so it contains salt, so it can make some rust. So after each time of use, not every time, but like after a couple of use, you can just use you can take some detergent, and with the teeth brush you can clean the electrode to just take off the rust and make the electric current to pass through as easy as possible. Yeah, that's it for constructing electrode. If you have any question about any part of my video, just feel free to send me a message. For a spot welding machine, I already posted a video. You can easily make your own spot welding machine for at most about $30 using a microwave transformer. So you can also watch that video to make your own spot welding, because that's a part of the construction. So talk to you soon again. Bye bye.